The energy industry is undergoing a huge shift driven by ambitious decarbonization goals. Today, we are joined by Leo Moreno, CEO of Zelestra, a global leader in renewable energy. We find out how Zelestra is playing their part in the energy transition through tailored decarbonization solutions for businesses. Leo, welcome to beautiful and a sunny Davos. It's wonderful to have you here.
Thanks so much, Olivia, for having me here.
Now, Zelestra, a very key piece in this puzzle of decarbonization. Walk us through what your company is trying to achieve here.
Absolutely. Zelestra is a global multi-technology renewable energy player with an 18-year-old history. We develop, engineer, commercialize, construct, and operate renewable projects, solar, wind, energy storage, and green hydrogen for the long term. And we really pride ourselves on delivering customer-tailored solutions. Our purpose is making decarbonization a reality for our partners using different technologies. And our main shareholder is EQT, which is a large global infrastructure funds. They have more than 200 billion euros under management. But when I think of the purpose of Zelestra and why we exist, I really like to take the big picture into account. If you look last year, 2024 was the warmest year on record. The 10 years prior to that were also the warmest years on record. We need to change this trend. And the goal here is clear, is taking the 40 billion tons of carbon emissions we have annually emitted in the world and take to zero. We see this as an existential threat. It's the defining issue of our generation. So the purpose of our company is working on that goal. And what we have done in the past years has been incredible in the direction of that goal. So last year we signed 2.6 gigawatts of contracts with customers. That's 6 times more than we had signed the year before. So very accelerated growth. We doubled the size of the company, and the goal is to be even bigger. We want to double the company and double it again the next 2 years. We need to get to about 9 gigawatts in the 2026 timeframe. And the way we do this is we have hundreds of projects across the different continents. So from Latin America to the US, to Europe, to Asia, and a large team of more than 1,000 people making this happen for our customers. And when I think of the role of Zelestra and the role of a corporation in general, it's to add value to all stakeholders, right? So communities, suppliers, investors, our people, governments, and all these stakeholders working together is what is going to lead us to achieve this bigger goal for the planet.
Right now, against this backdrop, we are seeing so many businesses and corporations coming out with their own decarbonization goals. Can you just walk us through exactly how you're trying to support them from A to Z? Because ultimately, this is a collaboration.
So there's been a transformation in the behavior of corporate customers. So corporate customers have incorporated larger sustainability goals and have been looking for renewable energy. But the way we look at it is we offer them these tailor-made solutions that incorporate multiple technologies. So a customer doesn't want power just 1 hour of the day or just when the sun is shining or just when there's wind. They want 24/7 power. So we develop these projects with different technologies to address this. And if you look again at the big picture, when you look at the 40 billion tons of carbon emissions we have, 30% come from the power sector, 20% come from transport, and 30% industrial, the 20% agriculture. So these are the customers, are the carbon emission leaders. In the power sector, it's very clear what we need to do. We need a clean grid. So we need to deploy clean energy at scale. That's solar, that's wind, that's nuclear, that's hydro, that's geothermal, all the carbon-free solutions. On the transport side, it's a little bit more complex because in the short-haul vehicles, the passenger cars, the passenger vehicles, you need the electrification. So you need to have batteries and electric vehicles powered by a clean grid. And in the long haul, that's ships, that's planes, that's long-haul trucking, you need a green fuel. So that can be hydrogen powered by electrolyzers that are fed by renewable energy or some solution like that. So when we think of Zelestra, we think of going after these customers, which is the power and the transport sectors, and offering solutions that can address both the renewable energy with solar and wind, as well as the transport and the flexibility that come from batteries or from green fuels.
So what I'm hearing here is that bespoke solutions is really what makes Zelestra stands out in the business.
Absolutely. And if you think of the transition we're going through and how we play a role in that, in the past several years, past decades, we have built as a civilization, we have built 3,000 gigawatts of wind and solar in the world. But that's only 14% of worldwide energy use. And we need the 84% remaining. So we need to decarbonize it all, but we need to do it in a resilient, in a affordable, in a way that focuses on energy security. So I think the world has realized that technologies like gas are going to be around for the long term. But you need to reduce the generation from gas over time to zero. So the way we think about it is, for a gas and coal plant, you have fuels that you store and you burn when you need it. When you transition the grid to renewables, you need to have a solution that replaces that. And in our industry, it is batteries and it's green hydrogen. So batteries, lithium-ion batteries, you can deploy at scale. You can charge them when there's sun and there's wind, and you can discharge them when you need them. And for green hydrogen, you can produce the hydrogen and use it when you need it. So our goal with customers, that's why we develop these trusted relationships with them, is to develop solutions that tackle all of these with the idea of decarbonizing the whole planet.
I know, because you have a very customer-centric approach, and I guess this is something that you are trying to push forward even more, being closer to the customer.
Absolutely, and that's an innovative approach for sure compared to other developers. A lot of developers, they develop a solar plant and they sell to whoever wants to buy the output. But we're the opposite. In the past year, we signed half of our contracts with the large data center hyperscalers. And the data center hyperscalers, you know, the revolution that we're seeing in AI is a transformation the world has never seen. The AI applications are transforming every sector, every industry, and we're just in the beginning of this massive hockey stick.
Many of us still can't wrap our head around this. We can't imagine what could be coming in the next 5 or 10 years.
Exactly. And the interesting thing is that these AI applications, the running of these models, what's behind them is the data centers. That these days we're building enormous amount of data centers. But behind the data centers is power, is the need for power. So a data center, 70 to 80% of the costs of a data center are power. And we want to do that carbon free. So to give you an idea of this magnitude, the amount of data centers that will be built just in the US in the next 5 years will require more energy than is consumed in all of Germany today. So one Germany in 5 years. So the magnitude of this is incredible. And that's how we develop these strategic relationships with these customers, because they can't buy power from one project. They need large volumes at scale, flexible, to enable their business to thrive and to enable the AI revolution to continue.
I want to pick up on the idea of technology. You mentioned that earlier. Obviously, we all turn to technology to make things more efficient, more reliable. How are you leveraging this within your own renewable energy projects?
Yes, the way we look at it is, again, from a very customer-focused approach. When customers talk about us, they see us different in 3 ways. The first thing they say is that we're really listening. So an empathetic approach to the customer. So we really understand what the customer wants and what technologies would be needed to deliver what they want. In which countries, in which magnitude, which type of technology. So in that sense, a lot of times what customers want requires different projects or a combination of things. For example, in India, we were awarded a contract for over 1 gigawatt for firm dispatchable renewable energy. So this requires a combination of wind and solar and energy storage to deliver power 24/7 at scale, gigawatt scale. And when we can do that, that adds a much more value to the customer than a normal project. One more example we have, in Chile, we have a project called Aurora. Very interesting project, is in late stage development and will start construction soon. It's a solar project, 200 megawatts, but it has a mega battery, 1,000 megawatt hours of battery. So with the combination of the two, if the customer wants 5 hours a day, we can provide a 5-hour block just from the battery. Solar charges the battery, we dispatch 5 hours. If the customer wants 14 hours, we provide a little bit from the solar, a little bit from the battery. If the customer wants 24 hours, we can provide a smaller volume, but over 24 hours. So that differentiated approach with customers has enormous value for them.
And finally, I love to touch on the company. It's based in Spain.
Yes.
It has a global footprint, and you at the helm, you come with an American mindset. How are you trying to find the best culture to move the company forward and to help drive the green transition?
So we really believe that big companies that are very successful in the long term, they have three things. The first is they have a great vision and strategy. No great company was ever built without a great vision and strategy. That's needed. Second, you need people. If you have the best people, hyper motivated, your company will be amazing. And lastly is culture. And I really think that culture is the strongest of these elements. I really believe that saying, that famous saying, that culture eats strategy for breakfast. And at Zelestra, we really focus on this, on building a great culture. And we look at 5 things. We look at ownership, because we're trying to change the world. We're trying to create something very big at scale. So we need people that own this goal. So if the person thinks that their job is just to come and work a few hours for a large corporation, the feeling is not a feeling of changing the world. We need people that feel they own the company and they own the goals and they do everything they humanly possible to achieve the goals. The second is a growth mindset, because we really believe that anybody can become anything if they work hard enough. If you have grit and you have commitment, you can become anything. And we try to make that a live concept in the company. You can move to different jobs, you can learn different things, have different mentors. Over time, you can become a different professional. The third thing we have is performance, because we're a high-performance company. We're delivering these gigawatts at scale. So we work with a very strict meritocracy, meaning the best people go forwards. The leaders that are admired are the ones that go forwards in the company. Underpinning this, we have a concept of collaboration, because with such a high-performance, high-paced culture, we want the company to feel like a team of teams, that some teams are trying to help other teams be successful in the whole. And the last is integrity, because we want to do the right thing. That's more important than anything else. And that we want to be proud of everything that we have done to achieve the goals. And when you have these elements, you have a vision, you have the people, you have the culture with these 5 elements, I think we end up with people that love what they do, that they love coming to work every day to achieve something great. And with these kinds of people and working together with all the stakeholders, that's how we believe we're going to achieve this ultimate goal of a better planet for future generations.
Well, Leo, it seems like you have a lot on your plate. It's going to be a very busy next couple of years. Thank you so much for taking the time and joining us here in Davos.
Thank you so much, Olivia.
Zelestra's portfolio now includes 28 gigawatts of carbon-free projects across 4 continents. But its commitment to decarbonization won't stop there. Their next target is to reach 45 gigawatt portfolio by 2026.